What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, managing editor, Fightful.com, FightfulWrestling.com. It is October 2nd. Smackdown Live to talk about. Just a reminder, we have a Super Showdown podcast live right after the show. Likely 9, 10 in the morning. Don't know when that show's going to end, but right after myself and Warren Hayes are coming at you live. It's going to be a good time. Of course, that night, UFC 229 post-show. We did our preview today. Check that out. Head over to FightfulWrestling.com for all your free wrestling news. Neato stuff over there. That includes your SmackDown Live coverage. Not exactly the most buzzworthy SmackDown Live, but we got plenty to talk about. I am joined tonight by Alex Pawlowski. Alex, what's up?
I'm a little disappointed, frankly. I thought there'd be more ghosts of John Candy tonight, but, Aiden English came up short, what did I say?
Quite frankly, he did. Do you have your mic hooked up?
I
or
don't.
There you go. While Alex gets his mic hooked up instead of his headset, I'll carry things. We've got lots to talk about on SmackDown Live, but we have a column up on the UFC 229 or 230 main event situation. Check that out. Remember, we publish the Fightful Wrestling Weekly every Friday with a bunch of exclusive news in there. Alex, hit me with a test.
Hey, testing.
Oh, much better. Much better.
John Candy 1212. Good.
That's right. So we didn't get the answers we were looking for tonight, Alex. We'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and get into it. Paige comes out to the ring, reveals that she called the cops last week on Samoa Joe. If there are two things that I don't like in this world, people who tag wrestlers in tweets and people who call the cops, and I get the feeling they're the same. Paige called the cops.
Yep. She might as well have just tagged, your mom and the FBI.
Wendy. At Wendy. Somebody did it to me last week. They put Corey Graves in a thing about a Brie Bella tweet I had. And I was like, oh, you forgot at cops, at FBI. So ridiculous. So AJ didn't want charges pressed, but he also isn't here tonight. Samoa Joe isn't either, as we find out. We see AJ Styles at his house, and he says he isn't leaving until he finds out Samoa Joe is on a plane to Australia, which I would say that makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does make sense. This segment it just didn't make a lot of sense as a whole. Like the idea of, I just want to tell everybody, Wendy and everybody at the house, they're fine. Samoa Joe didn't actually go into the house. We called the cops on him. When the cops showed up, he wasn't there. We decided to fire Samoa Joe, but AJ Styles apparently has the power to say, no, don't fire him. I want to give him his punishment in the ring in Australia. What happens if Joe wins? Then the guy who's like stalking people's families is your WWE champion. Are you going to fire him then? Like, none of this makes any sense. And here's the thing, at the end, after AJ Styles talks about how he's not going to leave the country until he knows Samoa Joe's there, the whole thing that ended last week, that was an interesting idea of Samoa Joe stalking AJ's family, none of that matters because there were no consequences for it, really. And we're still at the exact same spot we were before. I mean, I guess you could say that AJ wants to beat him up more, but that's not enough to justify that whole thing, to have it wind up. Like, this is, again, WWE has zero story progression. Like, it's this thing that happened that doesn't change anything. Okay, fine. Let's just move on, I guess. Styles
says that he's going to put Joe down under. Down under.
Down under.
There's a lot of mentioning, we're going down under.
Yeah. I'm not going to put your limp body in a casket. I'm going to bury you alive.
So this had me terrified they were about to turn this into a buried alive match.
Man, at least, here's the thing. If that had happened, at least it would be something new, and what happened last week would have consequences. But now it's like, I'm glad there's no buried alive match, believe me. But they should fight in, like, the Outback or something.
I really thought they were about to switch things up and go for a casket match or a buried alive match. You have no clue how happy I am that they didn't. This could have been a catastrophe, Alex. So no Samoa Joe on tonight's show. What do you think about that? You mentioned no real storyline progression.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess he's on the run from the cops, obviously. I mean, AJ Styles doesn't want to press charges, but still. I wish there was more of a progression through until Friday and Saturday where we could like have Instagram videos of Samoa Joe like getting onto the plane, but then getting off the plane. Like, am I really? Did I am actually here? Okay, fine. This is a match that should be good, but there's nothing that has done anything that's actually going to make it better or worse. It's going to be an ODQ match between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Good.
Yeah. Fabulous Truth defeated Andrade, Cien Almas, and Zelina Vega. This was another match which they are essentially using as commercials for Mixed Match Challenge, and I'm okay with that. But when I look at that, I'm like, man, you do have commercials for Mixed Match Challenge during this show.
Yes.
Like real ones. So to me, it seems a little lazy. It seems like they have all these guys that they're not using and all these people they aren't implementing. And instead, they're using the people that they're using on other shows. Like this would be a good opportunity to give them a little bit of a break sometimes from SmackDown. That being said, I enjoy R-Truth. I enjoy Carmella. I like Carmella's babyface turn. And I really enjoy Almas and Zelina as well. I would like to see the women abandon the spot where the heel grabs the opponent by the hair, screams that they're nothing, and then they have a move done to them. It seems like that happens every other week, depending on the show. Zelina hits a nice step-up kick and a crucifix into the ropes. 46-year-old R-Truth does a Hurricane Rana. I didn't know if he'd be busting that one out at his age, especially after some of the injuries that he's had. But Fabulous Truth stopped the action after a Tranquilo, and they have a dance break. And Corey Graves says that R-Truth could be distracted with a laser pointer, which is a great line.
That's good. That's good.
During the commercial break, Truth does this like weak kick to Almas during a back handspring. Carmella comes in during a hot tag, Alex. And this has happened with a lot of wrestlers where they get the babyface turn, and now we get to see a new set of offense. That's what happened with Carmella here as well. We see hot tag offense that we're not accustomed to seeing out of her, and babyface offense that we're not accustomed to seeing out of her.
Yeah, I am. It's weird. It's one thing that like Carmella's babyface turn was just like completely out of the blue, but it made sense. Like she was kind of pissy that she lost her matches and lost her title, and then it was like, hey, Maurice says whatever because R-Truth's trying to get somebody to partner up with him to face the Miz, and like I guess we're supposed to hate Maurice more than we hate Carmella. And boom, immediately like Carmella like spins directly into the skid, and like here it is. It's babyface Carmella, and she's fantastic. I can't believe that she was so great as that mouthy heel for so many months as the champion, and now I'm loving all of her goofy shtick with R-Truth. I can't believe that's the same person. She has come so far since she was called up. Like she is an absolute success story. Like. I want to see a babyface Carmelo championship run because this girl's a lot of fun to watch. As much as I hate her, like, you're supposed to hate what she was doing as a heel. Now you're supposed to love her doing this. She's great at both. I love it.
Yeah, it's a nice transition, and they weren't going to have her in the title picture anymore. She had her run.
Yep.
Very well might be the only run she has for all we know.
Yeah.
And if so, it was a nice little run. I thought that it was capped off with an outstanding match with Charlotte, where quite frankly, I thought that Carmella outperformed Charlotte. So it's nice to see her in a role like this where she's still utilized a little bit. Because as you and I had speculated, we thought that she was going to miss a couple of months.
Yep.
So she goes for a pin on Zelina, but Almas breaks it up. Truth takes out Almas. Zelina tries to roll through a bridge, and there's this beautiful transition into the Code of Silence. Not the old Big Vito spinning DDT.
No.
But the essentially inverted triangle hold with no arm in.
Yeah.
It works for her, and women that she does it to are typically a lot more flexible than the men will be. So they're able to sell that move really well, and I thought Zelina did and tapped right away.
Oh, that transition was mwah! It was so smooth. Like I watched that GIF over and over and over again. I was like, I wanted to slow it down to figure out exactly how she got. It was so great. Like I said, I'm so impressed by her. I forgot she used to win matches like that. I mean, like it was all distraction roll-ups and like pushing Asuka into a lowered shark cage. Like that was how she used to win matches. Now she's got a really cool submission move that she can bust out from apparently anywhere. Yeah, more Carmella on my screen.
I'm down for it. At least in this role, she's good. But this was a mixed match challenge commercial. What I didn't like was this pancake stuff. My God. New Day come out. They do a tease the Ico Pro plug. They have Mr. Booty's-worth out there to reveal the recipe of their special pancakes tonight. There is a line where Byron Saxton says, I wanted Mr. Booty's-worth to penetrate my ear, and it popped Corey Graves. That was nice.
Yeah.
But the bar came up and beat up New Day. There's flour everywhere, and they dumped batter on Mr. Booty's-worth. This was real stupid. I did not enjoy it in any way.
No, I loved the Ico Pro line because it's never out of fashion to make fun of Ico Pro. But everything after that was trash. It was trash. Like I love that. Like there was, I think this past week, somebody asked Xavier Woods, where did you guys start doing pancakes? What is that from? And he posted the video of that one time they were in a lumberjack match and decided to come out with pancakes, and it just worked. We don't know what happened. We decided to roll with it. Like they have no idea why they're doing pancakes, but it's their entire shtick now. That's it. That's all they have is pancakes. And I love these guys. And New Day versus The Bar is going to kick all kinds of ass because it always does when these guys wrestle. But the build up to it can't be some, stagehand wearing a tuxedo t-shirt getting pancake batter dumped on his head. That can't be your build up to it. You got to figure out some other way of doing it.
It was dumb, man. It's just, I'm past it to the point that, these guys are, I don't doubt that they can be entertaining because they're often entertaining. Yeah. But my God, it's made stale. I'm done with the pancakes. I'm done with the cereal. I'm done with the breakfast foods.
Yeah. There was stuff, but this is again, back in December when they were still they've been doing pancake stuff back then because that was when Rusev Day was still firmly heel and Rusev was wearing a Santa Claus outfit and he took a pancake off of Big E's plate and he threw it on the floor and he stomped on it and he said, "A phooey to your pancake." That was back in December. That was really funny. But guess what? It's now October. You guys are 10 months later still doing pancake shtick. Move on. At least to go to lunch. Have like a whole thing around whatever your favorite lunch food is. And then do that for 10 months and then move on to dinner.
Are they going to do like a brunch gang?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Like, I shudder the thought, but I visited Toronto couple months ago, and there's a wrestling fan, like one wrestling fan in the office. And I don't wear wrestling shirts. I just don't. I think it kind of violates the ethics, but not to say I haven't ended up owning a couple just through the years, but I own a Sandwich Club shirt because the fella there made them. I am in the Sandwich Club. So, I mean, it already pisses me off enough, this pancake deal, because as you know, I am a proponent of waffles.
Yes. Yeah.
But if they move on to lunch and they start telling me that hoagies are better than sandwiches, I'm not going to review their stuff. I won't be able to do it objectively. I post my show notes and match ratings, and in this segment, I named it RKEW. Nice. Ty Dillinger tells Paige he wants a shot at Randy Orton tonight, and she obliges Alex. Dillinger
I want to say that backstage thing was notable for Paige, like trying to talk some sense into Ty Dillinger. Like, did you see what he did to Jeff Hardy and then what he did to you last week? And you sure you want this? Like, yeah, I have to do it. I have to prove myself. And she goes, "I'll never understand men." And this is why Paige, being a GM, actually has merit, because she's a different viewpoint than anybody else we've seen in that role for a very long time. It totally makes sense that she would not understand his ridiculous machismo need to go into the ring and have his fingers broken.
Well, that he did. And I got to say, for one, I am digging demented Randy Orton, figuring out new sick ways to hurt people. It fits him really well. I had mentioned it before. There were reports that WWE was interested in Killer Cross, and it's like, hey, man, you all got Randy Orton. Maybe Killer Cross will work down the line, but right now he's got a couple of deals. Dillinger and Orton slug it out in the aisle, but Dillinger sing bombs Randy Orton, Alex.
Yeah, it's good.
I love
like
that.
Hoisted by his own petard.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Orton recovers and DDTs Dillinger on the floor. Then he takes the padding, the wrap. Actually, is there padding or wrap on the turnbuckles?
The turnbuckle screw thing. Yeah, there's a little padding around it, I guess.
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, on most rings there are, some there aren't, but the way that the rings are set up, what that is essentially you put a wrench in that and you just turn. Mm-hmm. It tightens and loosens the ropes up and the buckles and the essentially the tension between the four posts.
Right.
Orton did not have a wrench handy, and it was very clear that he wanted those ropes tightened, Alex, because he shoved Ty Dillinger's finger through one and then pulled back.
Yep.
Pretty
Gruesome.
sick. I liked it.
Gruesome. I loved it. There reminds me of this is a thing like 2 years ago in the Cruiserweight Classic, Brian Kendrick found all sorts of ways to like use parts of the ring to like really screw up his opponents, and this reminded me of that too. I like that. But I wanted it to actually wind up like fully, because it was implied that now Dillinger can't count to 10 with his fingers. So I just wanted like Randy to back away, going like 9, 9, 9, because it's good. I like it. This is fine. And this is the deal: is that what this is to me, it is obviously building Randy to go through the roster, beating up and torturing all these people until he gets his comeuppance. That's the story that you tell with this kind of a thing. I just don't see who it is out there on the roster who's primed to give him his comeuppance. I'm interested to see who that might be, but you know, it's out there lurking, is the guy who actually stands up to Randy and gets the better of him. Not sure who that's going to be in the future. I'm
excited to find out.
Yeah.
They've made me care a little bit about Randy Orton in a situation where I wouldn't have normally.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation about Miz beats Daniel Bryan for the title shot, is able to beat AJ Styles, and then they build to Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble and him and Miz having a match at Mania. If that's the case and AJ Styles isn't in the title picture, I could absolutely see AJ Styles as the guy who stands up to Randy Orton, and they have that thing. And Randy being, you know, thinking AJ doesn't belong, because when Randy was here killing legends, AJ was playing down in the minor leagues. Like that, I could see that story being built, and I'd be for that.
You know who this Orton gimmick would have been great for?
Who's that?
Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah.
Trying to one-up each other with how demented they could get.
Yeah. Gosh, I miss Luke Harper.
You're going to keep missing him for a while.
Yep, I sure do.
Milwaukee! Rusev and Lana come out and call out Aiden English. English gives a rundown and history of Milwaukee, including the filming of great movies like Basketball, Alex.
Like Basketball and Love Actually, which had a scene that took place at the Milwaukee airport, which is, I can tell you, that scene is not shot at the Milwaukee airport.
So here's the thing. No John Candy references.
No.
He really should have said it was the Polka King's eventual destination.
Yes, it should have said. He should have brought that up.
So English instead throws to a video, and it's him singing about Milwaukee in a hotel room.
Yeah.
There's a knock at the door. It is Lana.
Hmm?
She walks in and says, "Listen, I want you," and then the video cuts off.
Yeah. Freeze frame.
It's very clear that there's more said.
Yes.
As we covered this part of the show seriously. But Rusev is taken aback.
Yes. Yes.
So here's the thing. this is fun to poke at and it's fun to like play with and all that. Sure. It's not fun to make Rusev look that stupid.
Nope.
It's not. And English says that he's entertaining offers from TMZ. He really should have said Gawker instead. That would have made a lot more sense and been a lot funnier if this is going to be a complete, like, just stupid angle.
Yes.
Lana doesn't want to hear, or Rusev doesn't want to hear Lana's explanation after, though. What did you make of all this? Because we didn't get answers tonight.
No, we didn't. And really, like, come on. There's no identifiable Milwaukee-ness of that hotel room. That could be anywhere.
That's your issue with this. Okay.
I wanted there to be something, you know, like prove it's in Milwaukee, because otherwise it's a random town name you chose. Anyway, I did discuss the reason we came to the ghost of John Candy is that there is a very famous haunted hotel in Milwaukee, and I have to figure out if that looks like it might be a hotel room there. It's a very old hotel that looked like a very new door, so I'm pretty sure that's not in that hotel. I'm finding some holes in Aiden English's story here. I don't think it adds up.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there's more to it than what they let us know.
Yeah, it seems like he's not telling us everything yet.
So you know what it's time for, Alex?
What time? What's it time for?
Wild speculation.
Yes, please.
About what Lana wanted. Because I said that she wanted Aiden English to hide her Uncle Buck and Home Alone VHSs.
Yes.
So Rusev didn't find out that John Candy, Ghost of John Candy, was trying to play Russian patty cake with them cheeks.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
I think it's obviously that. And I think that she wants him to get her a bratwurst and some fried cheese curds because they're in Milwaukee, and that's what you eat when you're in Milwaukee.
Those are the foods there?
Well, that's the iconically Milwaukeean things to eat when in Rome, as they say.
Huh. You know, I can't say that I've ever heard of those.
Yeah, I know. Well, have you
but
ever
then again, you don't know what we eat here either.
That's true. I'm assuming you eat fried chicken, but that's
not really.
There you go. See,
not really.
There you go.
But we didn't even have like an assumption, just cheese something because it's Wisconsin. But
right, yeah, cheese something. A possum? Do you let a possum down there? Possum?
No, never.
Ah, okay.
So the thing is, I wanted to spend a good 10 minutes on this, but we can't.
We can't because it was really totally lame.
Man, it was.
It was totally lame.
Backstage, Miz shows up and tells Shelton Benjamin he got in with a match with Bryan. Now, Shelton had tweeted like last Friday or something that he wanted a match. So this was planned as far back as that. They had the foresight to do that. Benjamin says he's been waiting for the opportunity to remind everyone of who he is. He may have done that during this match. This was a pretty good match. He comes out really aggressive, hits a fireman's carry gut buster. Bryan is quick to fight back. I thought Miz was a little distracting on commentary tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I mean,
calling everybody wrestlers.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it after the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Most of what I was watching was I was kind of fantasy booking Shelton Benjamin as Miz's new bodyguard because I think those guys looked really good together backstage, and I could totally see Shelton like following him around in a nice suit and dark glasses and like keeping everybody away from the Miz. Like I could totally see that and having, you know, Miz making him fight his battles for him, especially if Miz winds up being champ. He's definitely going to need a bodyguard. And I love the idea of using Shelton as that. Like as Shelton winds down his contract, and I'm not sure how long he's there for, but it feels like they're not using him anything else. I'd totally buy him as Miz's bodyguard. So do that.
Shelton gets out of a yes lock and goes banana on Bryan at ringside. He was really heaving Bryan into anything and everything that he could find.
Yeah, I liked it. The Shelton Benjamin's great, and I like him as this heel version.
Especially angry old man Shelton. That is just the best. So there's a spot where Bryan accidentally lands on Benjamin during a diving headbutt. This is a very scary spot. And
I was watching that, and I just go, God damn it.
Why?
Daniel, what are you doing?
Especially after everything that's happened and his own tweets over the last week. It seemed like, man, it sucks.
That shouldn't be a move you attempt, even if the idea is to miss it.
Even if it's a work.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, well, I'm going to miss the attempt at a diving headbutt. If you're attempting it in kayfabe, you're expecting to hit it. You shouldn't be hitting diving headbutts anymore, man. Just take that out of your arsenal. It's simple.
I know he can do it. I know he can do it well.
Sure.
But I don't need to see it, and he doesn't need to do it. There are other things he could do there, and they took the camera off of Bryan and Benjamin for a while. Mm-hmm. It was probably 10 seconds, but it felt like a minute. It wasn't a minute, but it felt extended, and you could see Corey Graves even grimace. And the camera went on Miz at ringside, and you can tell it was so they could check and make sure that everything was okay. Fortunately, everything was, but this could have ended up a lot worse, and it didn't need to be.
No. It was the definition of unnecessary.
Indeed. Bryan is able to cut off Benjamin's able to cut off Bryan's comeback with a German suplex, and as Bryan is setting up for his finish, Miz gets on the apron. This distracts Bryan long enough to walk into a pay dirt and get pinned by Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
Before we get into Benjamin, after the match, Miz goes after Bryan's ribs. This is another way to get Bryan to fight from underneath this Saturday. Yep. Smart idea. It gave Benjamin a win, and quite honestly, Bryan is bulletproof to the point to where even if he gets beaten a bunch, I don't know if it does anything but serves him well at this point after they didn't push him the way that he should, because they tried to manufacture the Daniel Bryan versus the Machine thing. And as they found out, the best way to get somebody going the right way is for it to just happen.
Yeah.
So you might as well get Shelton the win out of this, keep him more relevant, have Miz look like a heel, have Bryan work from underneath. I thought it accomplished a lot of things, Alex.
Absolutely. I mean, he's bulletproof anyway, but I'm pretty sure the only way upper mid-card to main event babyfaces ever lose anymore by a pinfall is after a distraction. I mean, that's just the way that WWE books everything. Like, those guys don't lose clean anymore. Like, it's very, very rare. So yeah, I mean, it's not like Benjamin just beat him clean as a sheet. No, like, he lost after a distraction, which is stupid because they do it way too often, but it certainly does protect Daniel Bryan. So
it does, and it helps out Shelton Benjamin. Let's talk about him. He hasn't been on TV lately.
True.
Do you think he's on TV next week?
I hope so. Especially if Miz wins. I love the idea of Miz recruiting him to be his second. I think that's a really good use of him.
This is complete speculation on my part, but I think he is, and I think he loses to Daniel Bryan. Because that's the thing they like to do, is give somebody a win, give the underdog a win, and then have them come back and lose clean on TV shortly thereafter. And the thing is with Shelton, he hasn't been on TV since August 14th. But
what was he on before that? When was he on?
Let's see. Before that?
Yeah. Because when he came back on August 14th, I was like, whoa, Shelton, it's been a minute.
June 19th.
There you go. Like, here it is. 2 months, basically. 2 months and then 6 weeks. Like, there's no excuse. You signed this guy for a reason. I honestly thought he and Gable were really good together as a tag team. They were on TV a lot, feuding with the Usos. And then you bring Gable over to Raw to have him not be on TV for a while, and then be Bobby Roode's weird buddy,
and then team with another guy who's 40-something years old.
Exactly.
They want to turn them. They put people together to split them up eventually. It seems like
it's weird.
So Benjamin, 1 or 2 matches in 3.5 months on TV. Yikes, man. Yikes, man.
He's still good, and I feel like there's cachet in him being the old head who's just pissed about not being used right. And I think Miz could I keep bringing back this up because there's such great story use of it. Miz could absolutely play on that and say, listen, You ride with me, you're going to be on TV all the time. I'm going to get you great matches. You're going to bash my back, and I'll watch yours. Like, that's a great way of convincing him to be that character.
Asuka with Naomi defeated Peyton Royce with Billie Kay. The Iconics dance before the match. Neat.
Mm-hmm.
Royce whiffs on a wheel kick, hits a modified Widow's Peak. I like her using that move.
Yeah.
Nobody else is, so why not?
Sure. Why not?
WWE has made me really not care about Asuka, though.
Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, you can say that about a lot of people. But
sure,
I mean,
but they've really taken everything special away from her.
I can't believe how poorly she's been used since she's been brought up. I mean, she won the Royal Rumble, decided to, like, I challenge Charlotte. And again, it was one of those things, like, I thought, oh no, Vince is really going to have the biggest win streak ever lose at the hand of Ric Flair's daughter. And yep. So after that, it was just like, Asuka gets a program against Carmella, but she loses via whoopsie daisy over and over again. And that's not a way to build a credible character on your show. And they still are having her do weird things like, oh, it's funny because she can't speak English. Like, that's funny, right? No, it's not.
Let me tell you, man, I am doing for FightfulSelect.com, our premium service. Check it out. Maybe there's something there you might like. Have a bunch of bonus additional content there. I am retro reviewing Survivor Series 94. And it is amazing how far they have not come since then. Since Todd Pettengill in shitty San Antonio with a cowboy hat is interviewing, I think, Bull Nakano. And she doesn't speak English. And he's like, I asked you how you feel about this. And then he goes, in English, please. And I'm like, my God, man. It's amazing how terrible they've always been at this.
Yep.
Either way, Asuka rolls into a knee bar, then an ankle lock. Naomi keeps Billie from helping. Asuka lock, that's a wrap.
Yep.
Short, harmless match, nothing special.
Yep.
Becky Lynch comes out to a huge ovation, Alex.
Yes.
This is the reason why I really believe they have abandoned Becky as the heel.
Okay.
Got this great reaction. You still don't have her targeting the audience. This would have been the right night, too, because she was soaking it up. All those Becky chants, she was eating it up.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. The only thing that makes me feel like I'm on your side in this is that she's no longer targeting the audience. But everything else she's doing is super heel. Like, let's throw it to a video package where I beat the crap out of my opponent.
That was hilarious. That was the best throw.
It was great.
Video package I've seen, and her reacting to it afterwards.
Yes.
Saying I could watch that all day. That was beautiful.
Super heelish. I also love, hey, I didn't like the poster of this where I wasn't included and Nia Jax was for some reason. So here's a poster I had mocked up where I'm standing over my opponent holding the ring belt with my foot on her back. That's very heelish, but guess what? The crowd is into it. So you roll with it, man. But the thing is, they're absolutely playing all those other things as heelish, even though they're very wisely not having her attack the audience.
So yeah, that's the thing. When WWE really wants somebody to be a heel and get that heel reaction, they have them go after the audience.
Or they have them make fun of the Supersonics.
So, yeah, everybody can say, well, this is a heel promo, this is a heel promo. Traditionally, yes. Yeah. But the way that WWE does things, it's very obvious because Braun's out there saying, and I don't care what any of you think either.
Yeah.
Very forced. Very, very forced. Either way, Charlotte Flair comes out, spears Becky Lynch, puts her in a figure 4, and that's a wrap. That's the show.
That's the show. That's it.
Super Showdown this Sunday or Saturday.
See you in Melbourne, or as they say down under, Melbourne, and as Tom Phillips insists on calling it Melbourne. Like, okay, yes, I understand. That is how they pronounce it, but you don't pronounce it that way, Tom. You pronounce it Melbourne. That's fine though. Muted.
We're going to make our Super Showdown predictions momentarily. We're going to talk about SmackDown 1000. But Alex, last year, I uncovered the dark truth behind Billy Kidman's theme lyrics.
And it was very dark.
It was very dark. I discovered the shocking translation of Maurice's theme. I hope you're ready for this, Alex.
I don't think anyone's ready for this.
Booker T, one of the most fire, pun completely intended, themes of all time, right?
So true.
It's fantastic. For years, I thought that Jimmy Hart produced it. He actually did not. It was by Renee DeWale and Didier Laglisi. It's called Rap Sheet. There's a part of this song you're going to recognize, Alex.
Yes.
And it is when you hear uncontrollable sounds.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I did some deep diving, Alex.
Okay, did you now?
Tell me you want to know where that sample came from.
I don't think
Well, you sure do. It's from a woman named Hateful Head Helen and a song called Sweet Pussy Pauline. Allow me to play an excerpt.
Fuckers coming up to you trying to waste your time, knowing that you're looking good, nice little ass back there. But you see, let me tell you something, girls. A lot of these motherfuckers see us walking by, they want to put their face in our asses and go, blah, 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 blah. But they don't know how to ask. I recently...
What is with these producers of wrestling music?
I don't know.
Corrupting the youth.
Yeah.
Our viewership.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
But to be fair, that woman was trying to give a life lesson.
Sure.
She
absolutely.
said that men wanted to do that,
Yes.
but didn't know how to ask.
True.
And I think we can all take a lesson from that.
Yes.
Because I don't know if these two German fellows who produced this theme song ever asked her to use that sample. I can't confirm it. I can't deny it.
Right.
Man, it just gets more and more real. Some news dropped today. Capital One Arena advertising Michelle McCool, Vicky Guerrero, Teddy Long, Tori Wilson for SmackDown 1000. Any of these get your blood pumping?
I mean, I'm sure Vicky will yell, "Excuse me," and Teddy Long will make a tag team match. It'll be fine.
I hope Shaul Guerrero shows up and attacks Lana. I'm fine with this. You know, we got Evolution returning. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
Had some people say, well, they're a Raw team. My God, why would they come back on SmackDown 1000? You know, I'm okay with it. All of them except for Ric Flair had extended runs on SmackDown.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. Batista was on SmackDown for a long time. It'll be really cool to see Batista back. I still can't believe they keep turning that guy down when he says, "I want one more run." Like he's a major player in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ride that wave, folks.
It would be great if while in the ring, all three guys gave the thumbs up, thumb down on Triple H, and Batista hit the Batista palm on him. And we're off to the races.
That'd be great.
I would really like that. I'm down for one more run of Batista.
Yeah.
And Jimmy often points to the WrestleMania 30 pre-show presser. And if you all haven't seen that, it is worth a watch. That and the Wednesday Listen Ya Boy episodes with Jimmy Van, getting closer to 100. But Batista went out there and he's like, "I'm not reading this crap they wrote for me." And Jimmy's like, I kind of see why they don't want to. But there we go. Also, SmackDown 1000 with Evolution, all that. The advertised main event is AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan against Samoa Joe and The Miz. You have Charlotte Flair, Asuka, and Naomi against Becky Lynch and the Iconics advertised for that show. Who knows how much of that will actually happen? We have Super Showdown on Saturday. Going to be a doozy, advertised for a 5 a.m. start time Eastern. I don't know if there's a pre-show before. I have no clue. I guess we'll find out. But we do have a live post-show podcast, myself and Mr. Warren Hayes afterwards. Let's get into it. Becky Lynch defends the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. I've got Becky retaining. I think they know what they have here, and they're going to ride it.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But listen, I don't think I'm choosing any title switches anyway because of the fact that it's a giant house show. But no, Becky's definitely winning here.
Let's keep track next week. I said
Yeah.
we were going to do this before. We didn't.
Yeah.
Charlotte came out on top. I think Becky's going to win.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy. I am predicting a title switch here. I think they could do this and then switch it back Wednesday if they wanted to. But
100%.
give that crowd something they won't forget. You can do this, and Cedric Alexander isn't going to be hurt. He's been champion since what, WrestleMania?
Yeah, he's undefeated in 2018.
God. So I'm going with Buddy Murphy.
Yes. that is the right move. Somehow I feel like they're still not going to do it, but yeah. My pick is Buddy Murphy too. And by the way, he absolutely deserves it. Like that guy fought to be included on 205 Live because he wasn't getting used in NXT. He's cut all that weight. He's been great every time he's been in the ring. I can't wait. This is the match I will actually want to watch live.
I don't think the Iconics will meet the same positive fate. I think they're going to go out there and heal the Australian crowd because that's what they do at live events there. We actually have a video of it on youtube.com/Fightful. I think they'll lose to Naomi and Asuka for whatever reason because I think that the Iconics probably need to win way more.
They really do. Yeah, they'll if they win, it'll be through shenanigans, and really, honestly, Asuka and Naomi won't be hurt by that. So I think they might be able to wait to win via distraction roll up or Vegemite in the eyes. I don't know.
The New Day defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Bar. I'm going with the New Day here. We got to get more pancake jokes in. This SmackDown Tag Team division is really nice, but man, is it directionless.
Yeah, they have all the potential in the world for amazing feuds and great stuff. That's why I hope the New Day wins, is because they have a great 6-man feud right there. Just can build sanity. It's an amazing thing by having pick up a couple wins against the New Day.
Meanwhile, while this is headlining, there is nothing being done to help sanity. Usos aren't on TV.
Yep.
Yuck. The Bellas and Ronda Rousey against the Riot Squad. Common sense would tell you Ronda Rousey wins here.
Yes.
Creatively, I wouldn't mind the Riot Squad winning and then that causing dissension between Rousey and the Bellas. Like that was Rousey's first loss. But I would imagine that Ronda Rousey would like a more positive memory in Australia. I do not know how they didn't bring up one time during this how Ruby Riott has not said, I'm going to knock you out in Australia just like Holly Holm did. I have no clue.
I agree.
Maybe since last week, I understand.
Right. Yeah. I agree that they probably that's a missed opportunity. It may be that Ronda's people have been like, listen, that's the one area you don't touch with her.
Quite possible. Quite possible. But I think Rousey and the Bella Twins are getting the win. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, please. And also another please. Please, I know the thing is you're gonna do Ronda versus Nikki Bella. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't do that.
I mean, I think it'd be a fine match.
Yeah, it'd be fine. I just don't have any interest in seeing it.
Don't need it. I'd literally rather them do Bayley and Sasha Cold on the show.
Yeah.
As a main event.
Yeah.
The Shield against Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. The Dogs of War. The Shield are going to get the win in the glorified house show in front of 50,000, right?
1,000% that's going to happen.
John Cena and Bobby Lashley against Kevin Owens and Elias. Same thing. The celebrity comes in who lives in China now. Apparently, he's just made his residence in China. I have a column coming out like next month. I'll post it on Fightful Select early for Tier 2 subscribers about John Cena and the mileage that he has left as a WrestleMania competitor, which apparently, judging by last night, is at least 10 years. But yeah. I think he and Lashley are beating Owens and Elias.
Yeah, no, I'm one that's easy. That's an easy one. It'll be weird. It'll be weird to see like if they do anything with John Cena, like a backstage segment, or if he just like comes out with his music and they have the match and then he goes home. Like there's been nothing really to build to this. There's nothing between him and Lashley that makes you realize why this match was booked with them as partners. Nothing. He just shows up and has his match and goes home.
Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, #1 contender match. I think this should lead to a Miz title run.
I do too.
The Miz should win and then spend the entire title run ducking Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
You build the seeds for WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan versus The Miz can be a WrestleMania match. Can be.
Oh, yeah.
But they have to be put in the right situations, and The Miz needs to be cornered into having this match.
Right. That's the idea behind that is The Miz, as champ, always ducks Daniel Bryan, but if Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble, then he can't duck Daniel Bryan anymore. And that's a very easy way to get to that point. And absolutely, The Miz versus Daniel Bryan is a WrestleMania match, especially if The Miz has the title and Daniel Bryan is a Royal Rumble winner. Then you have a clear path to it, and you have a great moment of Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 35 in New York, hoisting the title belt over his head, having finally overcome his big feud coming out of retirement. It's perfect. It's perfect, which means they won't do it.
WWE Championship, no DQ, no count out. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. We often kind of clock watch or calendar watch the AJ Styles title reign. He is at 327 days. On November 7th, he will crack that 1 year mark. Does he get by Samoa Joe?
If it wasn't a house show, I would think it was a bigger chance of this. I think he beats Samoa Joe specifically because I think The Miz wins the #1 contenders match. And I don't think a Miz versus Samoa Joe match makes a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And I really do at this point. I want to see Styles get past the year mark. I think that'd be a nice thing to do.
It would be.
What's crazier is to think that we are 11 months removed from the Jinder Mahal reign.
Yeah, it's crazy. Last week when he was on Mixed Match Challenge last night, he came out last night for the thing, and his music hit. I remember how much every time his music would hit, I would go, God, I hate Jinder as champ, but damn, that
music is great.
It's fire.
Great. I really hope we don't find out something terrible about it.
Me too. Oh, this is the thing is that music is entirely in a foreign language. Who knows what the hell they're talking about?
If anybody speaks the language, hook me up. Send me the translation, please. I got to do this for the people. We also have the main event, essentially, I am assuming, The Undertaker with Kane against Triple H with Shawn Michaels. This video of them hit 2.55 million on YouTube. That's a good number despite the crap ratings or viewership that Raw got an all-time low again in the Nielsen's at least among viewership, not rating. Undertaker, Triple H. Triple H seems like the kind of guy that can lose all the time. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But The Undertaker, obviously this is not his last match.
No.
Rusev wasn't going to be his last match. Cena wasn't going to be his last match. If he was going to have a last match, it was going to be Roman Reigns, and that wasn't his last match. So, first off, who wins, and how much longer do you think Taker has in the ring?
I think Taker wins this match. I love your idea of Batista coming back at the 1,000 and starting a program with Triple H, but I don't think so because I'm almost positive that these four guys who are going to be in and around this main event on Friday, Saturday, are going to have a tag match at Survivor Series, which I think then leads to Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, last match for both of them at WrestleMania 35 in New York, which I feel like is a great way for them both to go out. I think it's a good time for them both to step aside forever.
I think Undertaker's winning. I like your idea. We have a viewer that says, Sean, please stop shitting on my home of San Antonio. No one talks shit about your home. Stop talking about mine. Well, let me say, I just want to wholeheartedly say that I consider truly San Antonio to be a beautiful city in comparison to Portsmouth, Ohio. They are literally the two worst cities in all of America, without a doubt, hands down. Portsmouth, Ohio, San Antonio, Texas, the worst city ever.
Yep.
ever.
I've never been
Solidified by this Survivor Series 94 pay-per-view from San Antonio that I had to retro review, that apparently Mr. Warren Hayes was joking about when he recommended it to me, and then I watched it anyway. I had to carve out. Alex, you know the news cycle, yeah?
Yes, I do.
You know how Mondays are.
Oh, yes.
Carved out 3 hours on a Monday for that one.
Whoa.
I blame San Antonio. It is San Antonio's fault. And the only way that I can say that Portsmouth is worse is just because by default, WWE is like, man, that city's so terrible. We're not even going there.
That's true.
We'll go to Huntington, West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
We'll risk our superstars buying meth on every street corner in Huntington, West Virginia, as opposed to going to Portsmouth, Ohio, where they just inhale it. It's just natural. It's in the air. Man. Somebody says, at least San Antonio can hold on to an NBA team. Yeah, not any players, though. Because what do? They hit the bricks and then they go to a real city like Toronto. Man, this guy is getting mad. Oh, whew. Lexington, Cincinnati, both beautiful cities that everyone should aspire to go to. Alex, what do you got going on this week in Milwaukee? That's a city. That's a city.
Damn city. Speaking of the Milwaukee Uncle Bucks, they've got a preseason game tomorrow night in the brand new arena they built. Looks like a damn spaceship. Playing against the Chicago Bulls.
Hey,
so I'm going to that game tomorrow night.
Gonna go see your boy Jabari Parker.
Jabari Parker making a little homecoming back in the MKE. It's a preseason game, so I'm not anticipating a lot of stuff. But hey, the tickets were cheap.
Yeah, seems like a good time. I would love to go to an NBA game. I would love an NBA team. I was watching Easy A with my wife last week.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie. I just want to say those children, they're spoiled little brats. I would love the Woodchucks as a mascot.
Mm.
The Kentucky Woodchucks, I would be down for that.
Sounds good.
Bring the Kentucky Woodchucks to Louisville, Lexington, even Cincinnati, the Northern Kentucky Woodchucks. I'm down for it. Guys, join us on Saturday, Super Showdown. Visit Fightful.com. Check out FightfulSelect.com. I have dark match commentary. That angry old man tag team I've wanted so much, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, they actually teamed together in 2001 against Billy and Chuck. I laid some commentary down over it. Check it out. Did the Q&A podcast this week. Lots of neat stuff up there. The new retro review, ECW One Night Stand 2006 with John Baez and Warren Hayes. It was a good time. Until next time, guys, follow me at Sean Ross Sapp. Follow us at Fightful Online. We're out.